Good morning, campers, and welcome to the Nebraska-Iowa Kiwanis Leadership Camp. Thank you for being here today. I am District Governor and your camp master for the day, Curt Reis. Our district education team has put together several education sessions for us this morning. Hopefully our camp counselors will give you tips and tricks to take with you on your adventures as we finish out the last 6 months of this year in strong fashion. So grab your cup of coffee, your bug juice, or whatever your favorite morning beverage might be, and pull up a log and enjoy the morning. I now will turn things over to our camp commissioner, otherwise known as our district administrator, Lisa Prokacek. Lisa?
Thank you, Camp Master Curt. That was a great way to get things started. And good morning, campers. Are we ready for a great day? Hey, let's get things started this morning with our camp director. Jane's going to join us and share some things with us. I think she will. I'm kind of looking around here. I thought Jane was with us. She said she was going to be. Has anybody seen Jane? Hey, wait a minute. Has anybody seen my raft? I set a raft up here this morning. Blew it up, inflated, had it ready here to go for our adventures. Both of Jane and the raft? Wait a minute. Hang on. Where my raft was, I now have a note. It might be from Jane. It is. Lisa, share screen and press play. See you later, Jane. Oh, okay. I better follow instructions here. Hang on, folks. Let me share my screen.
Hey, hi. When did you guys get here? Oh, it's good to see all of you. Hey, welcome to Camp Kiwanis, specifically Camp 206. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Now, I'm Jane Erickson, a very seasoned camper. We'll just leave it at that. How does that sound? I invite you all into my tent. Isn't it cool? Now, this afternoon we got some pretty cool stuff to share. Let me show you one of them because the only cool place is at camp. Check that out. Camp 206. See that third tent in? That's mine. So come on in. Lots of room. It's a big tent. As we gather, we're going to be talking about camp, about Kiwanis, and of course, we're going to talk about Camp 206. We have to do that. And it wouldn't be a Jane Erickson if I didn't tell you a story. So check this out. It's going to begin the adventure. This adventure, of course, started in Montana. Look at that river. It's amazing. I got a call from the governor who said, hey, Jane, you want to go whitewater rafting as long as you're in Montana? I said, well, of course. Look at that. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that, right? We're talking about adventure. So Governor Barbara and I got there and we're standing around with all the other people ready to divide up and get into these little camps and get in the raft. And it ended up that Barbara and I were one of the last ones to be put in a raft, and we were partnered with this delightful little family from California. It's pretty cool. A mom, a dad, 10-year-old, and a 7-year-old, none of whom had done any rafting. The mom wasn't sure she wanted to do it. In fact, she said she wanted to go to Starbucks. The dad wasn't real sure either, but he said he would do it because his sons wanted to do it. Then the 7-year-old piped up and said, yeah, I don't want to go either. I'm going to Starbucks with mom. But the 10-year-old said, oh, we're doing this. And I'm sitting in the front. And who are you two? And I said, well, my name is Miss Jane and this is Miss Barbara. He said, well, let's go. So off we went. We got in the van. We headed down to this amazing looking river. Raft came out. Andrew popped himself right in the front and said, I'm leading. That's it. I'm going first. I said, but Andrew, have you ever gone rafting before? He said, nope, doesn't matter. I'm leading. Get in. He said, okay, I've done this before, and let me give you a hint. It works better if you put the raft in the river. Ha! Pretty cool, huh? So we get in the water. Look at this. This is pure excitement. Absolutely. We all have on our wetsuits. We have on our life jackets and our helmets. We have our paddles. And look at all the people in this raft. Here's Dad up here in the front. He's smiling. He's not sure he really wants to do this. Here's Andrew. He's so excited he can hardly stand it. Now, Barbara and I, we've done this before, so we're trying to work with him. This is little dude back here in the back. He's 7. He said, I think I'm going to throw up. I thought, awesome. And this is Mom. Look at her face. She'd still rather be at Starbucks. Gotta love it. And Matthew back here, this is his 4th trip. He's having a good time. So as we go on down the kind of quieter parts of the river, we're trying to guide Andrew. Andrew, this is how you hang on to the paddle. Andrew, it works better if you put the paddle in the water. Andrew, since I'm behind you, it works the best if you pull the paddle all the way through the water and not flip it up halfway, because when you do, you're drowning me, Andrew. Andrew this, Andrew that. It truly was fun. And Andrew talked for the entire 2.5 hours. He was very excited about the 14 different rapids, and he was absolutely positive they were ginormous. As we got to some of the quieter parts of the river, he would chat about things that he did in California and things about being a 10-year-old and exciting things about being a kid and how Kiwanis can help kids, and I found it very fascinating. At one point, he turned a little bit and looked at Governor Barbara and said, so what do people call you? And she said, Miss Barbara. And he said, well, what do other people call you? And they said, well, in Kiwanis, they call her Governor Barbara. And he said, oh. He said, what do they call you at work? She said, boss. And I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. Then he came to me and he's quizzing. What do people call you, Jane? What do your kids call you? Mom or Mama. What do your grandkids call you? Well, they call me Grandma Jane, or a couple of them call me the Graminator. Oh, we had a good laugh over that. The entire time we're talking, then we're going through the rapids, then we're talking again, and then we're spinning because Barbara and I know how to do that, and it made it kind of fun. Well, let me tell you, every time that we went on a rapids, it became a little bit more exciting. And then came one of the really, really big whitewater ones, and look where our leader was. Gone. Look at that, ducking his responsibilities. Yeah, and it's too bad they didn't take the picture right after that. That's when that giant whitewater wave came right up and almost knocked me right out of the raft. Now look at little Andrew. You can't even see him. See the paddle over here? Yeah, it's just hanging there, which means I can't paddle because it's in the way. Barbara's doing her job over here. Look at Dad. He's got his eyes closed. Little kid back here screaming, let me out. And of course, we're laughing. We get back through these rapids, and I said, hey, Andrew, next time don't duck. And he said, hey, I didn't want that water in my face. And I thought, okay, smart little kid. Well, we got to a calm part, and Andrew put down his paddle and said, now I'm going to do something I really want to do. And he jumped out of the raft and started to float away. Look at the current. Well, Barbara and Matthew and I began to paddle very quickly over to get him. I reached down, grabbed him by the life jacket and pulled him back up and said, hang on. You need to hang on. And now you need to get in the boat, because I could see what he couldn't. We were heading for yet another nice little bout of wet water. I couldn't get him pulled up. His dad couldn't get him pulled in. After 4 or 5 attempts, and we're getting closer to the next set of rapids, all of a sudden I feel the weight in this raft shift. And Matthew steps up over the top of me and in an adrenaline surge reaches down, lifts that 110-pound kiddo up into the air and drops him into my lap. We go down in the rapids, and that huge amount of water comes up, and I duck right behind Andrew. No judgment. We came back up We're both spitting water. He turned around, still in my lap, and said, "That was awesome. And that's why they call you the Graminator. You plucked me from death." And I laughed and said, "It wasn't me." And he said, "You saved my life." And I couldn't help but laugh and look at Governor Barbara, and I said, "Does this remind you of a Kiwanis project, of a Kiwanis club? Check it out. There's always somebody paddling no matter what. There's always somebody there that's reluctant. There's always the one who will lead and be calm and patient. There's always the one ducking responsibility, and always somebody here in the back who's going to lead." When we were almost finished, 2.5 hours later, I turned again and said, "Yep, check it out. It's Kiwanis. Always somebody here for the photo op." We did it. Ta-da. But my friends, lieutenant governors, district chairman, leaders, this is your adventure. This is your Kiwanis club. These are the clubs in your division. These are the clubs in our district. This is our chance to look at leadership, the leadership pipeline, and membership in a little bit different way. In every club, there will be someone like Matthew, who's up here leading. He is the one who is guiding. That's you. You're the one looking out for your clubs. You're the ones that make certain everybody's in the right seat. You're the one to help them understand the skills and abilities they need to be able to run the rapids. You're the one who might even have to reach over, pick one of them up, and help them along the way. You're the one who can see the ones who need a little bit of extra help, extra encouragement, the ones who can teach them how to get paddle, teach them how to use the tools they need in their clubs. So, lieutenant governors, district chairs, leaders, trustees, these are your challenges, and these are our opportunities. So why do we care about that? Because kids need Kiwanis. Just exactly like little Andrew said, hey, kids need to have people who can help them out. Why? 50% of our preschoolers don't get outside every day to play. Over 380,000 babies are born prematurely in the United States annually. 11.3 million of our U.S. kids leave school every day with no place to go. And my friends, for the last year with COVID, the mental health issues of our kiddos and our teachers have raised exponentially. Kids need Kiwanis, and Kiwanis needs members who care about our kids. Why do kids need Kiwanis? Because 2.1 billion people in our world lack safe drinking water. Countries are still losing infants and mothers to neonatal tetanus. And 1 out of 6 of our own Nebraska-Iowa kiddos live with food insecurity daily. Kids need Kiwanis, and Kiwanis needs us. Kiwanis needs us to fill our Kiwanis clubs and to help more kiddos along the way. Now here I have a little kiddo, and he's sitting on a camp. Look at that, a little camp stool, a little 3-legged camp stool. I think that's very appropriate. Now, before we all came, we asked you a couple of questions. One of those was, what does 206 mean? And while there were some very interesting answers, I do have to say, 206 is not the average age of the Nebraska-Iowa board. Funny, not appropriate, but that was funny. But for those of you who answered that 206 was the number of kiddos that the average Kiwanian can positively impact in a year, right? 206 kiddos. That means that I can positively impact 206 kiddos each year by working with Kiwanis. And you can, and 206 for you, and you, and you, and you. Oh my goodness, think of what that looks like when each one of us can help 206 kiddos, and when we have lots and lots of Kiwanians helping. Now, how are we going to do that? How will we support all these kiddos? First of all, we have to retain the members that we have. We have to retain the happy campers we currently have. You've each commented that COVID has given you some pretty strong challenges. And you know what? There's also some pretty strong opportunities there also. We're going to be talking about that, and I hope that we'll all share together with some of the ideas and things that we can do to bring projects to our Kiwanis clubs and to retain our members in order to really promote those projects and additional ones. So how do we retain our happy campers? How do we invite more happy campers to come in with us? Every new member, every new happy camper we bring in represents another 206 kiddos. And right now, I think more than ever, our kiddos need Kiwanis. Retaining members, recruiting members, and opening new clubs. Basically, opening new camps. Another Camp 206. We can have them all over the place. I mean, after all, why not? Kids need Kiwanis, and Kiwanis needs you. At the end of the day, when we fall asleep at night, one of the best things we can do is think about all the kiddos that we helped, all those wonderful, happy little campers. So my friends, as we go through the rest of the day, let's think about the kinds of things that you can do as the leaders in this district to help make Kiwanis the most positive force on the planet. How can we help in leadership and in membership to make our kiddos happy, healthy, safe, and loved? And my friends, the adventures continue.